All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I am Saira Mujtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Bhutanese counterpart sharing Thopge to hold bilateral talks today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says contribution of Asian democracies to global discourse needs to be enhanced rapidly with the rise in their economic and political stature. In Jammu and Kashmir, terrorists abduct constable, bullet-riddled body recovered in Shopian. UK High Court gives banks option to seize Vijay Mallyas assets in London. US asks Pakistan to bring Taliban to the negotiating table with Afghan government through sustained and decisive steps. And in sports, in the FIFA World Cup quarter-finals beginning today, France to face Uruguay and Brazil to play Belgium. And in cricket, India to lock horns with England in second T20 match in Cardiff. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Bhutanese counterpart Shering Thopge will hold bilateral talks today to discuss issues of mutual interest. Mr. Thopge arrived in New Delhi yesterday on a 3-day visit to India. Our correspondent reports that the visiting leader will also call on President Ramnath Kovind this evening.
India and Bhutan enjoy unique ties of friendship and cooperation which are characterized by utmost trust and mutual understanding. This year both countries are commemorating the Golden Jubilee of establishment of formal diplomatic relations. India-Bhutan diplomatic relationship was established in 1968 with the establishment of a special office of India in Thimphu. Yesterday, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj called on the visiting dignitary. The two leaders held discussions to take the relationship to new heights during the Golden Jubilee year of establishment of diplomatic relations. Minister for Finance, Railways and Coal, Piyush Goyal, and Minister for Power and New and Renewable Energy, R.K. Singh, will call on the Bhutanese Prime Minister during his stay. Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that democratic values are rooted in Hindu and Buddhist civilizations and contribution of Asian democracies to global discourse needs to be enhanced rapidly with the rise in their economic and political stature. Mr. Modi made these comments in a video message on Twitter for the 4th edition of Samvad, a symposium being held in Tokyo, Japan.
Sarvajan Hitai, Sarvajan Sukhai. The Asian values of mutual accommodation and respect enable democracies to function on the consensual model and not purely in a competitive model. As Asian democracies rise in economic and political stature, that contribution to global discourse will need to enhance rapidly.
The Prime Minister said openness and not dogma and engaging in philosophy, not in ideology, are among our shared heritage of democratic spirit.
Commonly shared values that will help the evolution of the Asian democracies. Openness and not dogma and engaging in philosophy and not ideology give us our shared heritage of democratic spirit. This philosophical and cultural heritage of dialogue in the two most ancient Asian faiths, Hinduism and Buddhism, helps us promote better understanding.
Speaking on the occasion, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said Buddhism played a significant role in forming ideological foundation of Japan. Therefore, this is a common heritage of both India and Japan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today paid tributes to founder of the Bharatiya Janasangh and former parliamentarian Dr Sharma Prasad Mookerjee on his birth anniversary. In a tweet, he said, Dr Mookerjee is remembered as a fine educationist, a wonderful administrator, and a stalwart who fought for the country's freedom as well as unity. The Prime Minister also shared a picture of Dr Sharma Prasad Mookerjee with Dr Babasaheb Ambedkar, saying that both were ministerial colleagues and had a futuristic vision for India's growth. In Jammu and Kashmir, the bullet-riddled body of a police constable kidnapped by suspected terrorists was recovered in Shopian area this morning. Javed Ahmad Dar of Vehil Shopian area was kidnapped by a group of 4 unidentified terrorists from a local medical shop yesterday. He was posted as personal security officer of former senior IPS officer. No terrorist outfit has claimed responsibility for the killing. Meanwhile, suspected terrorists have shot an imam of a mosque at Parigam area of South Kashmir's Pulwama. Security sources told AIR that Mohammad Ashraf Thokar has been shifted to Srinagar Hospital for specialized treatment. The Supreme Court is likely to pronounce its judgment today on a plea of former Law Minister Shanti Bhushan challenging the existing roster practice of allocation of cases in the Apex Court by the Chief Justice of India or CJI. The Apex Court is also likely to resume hearing on the contentious Babri Masjid Ram Temple land dispute case today. A special bench of Chief Justice Deepak Mishra and Justices Ashok Bhushan and S.A. Nazir is seized of a total of 14 appeals filed against the High Court judgment delivered in 4 civil suits. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. A UK High Court judge has given Indian banks the option to search fugitive industrialist Vijay Mallyas' properties in London and seize the assets as a means of recovering their money. According to the 26th of last month's order by Justice Byron, the enforcement officer and his agents can enter Mallyas' home in Lady Walk and Bramble Lodge in Tevin, Welwyn, giving a consortium of 13 Indian banks to search and seize the properties. Mallia is fighting extradition to India on fraud and money laundering charges worth nearly 9,000 crore rupees. The order said the officer, including any enforcement agent acting under his authority, may use reasonable force to enter the property if necessary. India's extradition case will come up in a UK court on the 31st of this month. India has said Malaysia is considering New Delhi's request to extradite controversial Islamic preacher Zakir Naik. Briefing media in New Delhi yesterday, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar said the Indian High Commission in Kuala Lumpur is in regular touch with the relevant Malaysian authorities in this regard. United States has asked Pakistan to bring Taliban to the negotiating table with the Afghan government through sustained and decisive steps. A senior diplomat for South Asia, Alice Wells, after meeting Pakistan's army chief and holding talks with Afghan leaders, told reporters in Washington that she asked Islamabad to expel Taliban leaders and press them to negotiate with Kabul. Trump administration suspended security assistance to Pakistan in January over its failure to crack down on Afghan Taliban on its soil. The evacuation of stranded Kailash Mansarovar pilgrims in Nepal continues for the 4th day today. A total of 971 pilgrims have been evacuated from Simikot so far. More details from our correspondent.
The massive operation undertaken by the Indian Embassy to evacuate stranded pilgrims is in full swing. 389 pilgrims were evacuated from Simikot by 26 commercial flights and Nepal Army helicopter yesterday. Similarly, 275 people were airlifted from Hilsa to Simikot by 55 sorties of choppers. Now over 300 people are stranded in Simikot, only one in Hilsa and few others in Tibet side. These pilgrims are also likely to be evacuated by today or tomorrow. Rajkumar, AIR News, Kathmandu.
Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana is being effectively implemented in Maharashtra. The objective of the scheme is to ensure access to financial services in an affordable manner to every citizen of the country. Here is a ground report from our Aurangabad correspondent on how this scheme has enabled economically weaker sections with universal access to banking facilities.
Maharashtra is at the 6th position in terms of highest number of beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. The scheme empowers citizens financially so that every person can reap the benefits of growth and development. A beneficiary, Shankar Pawar, labourer in Aurangabad, says that Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana is very helpful for him as he receives government subsidies directly into his account.
जनधन योजना का मैंने भारतीय स्टेट बैंक जादववाड़ी इसमें मेरा खाता है, उसके ऊपर मैं गैस का भी नंबर दिया हुआ है. गैस के पैसे आते, व्यवसाय करता तो उसका पैसा थोड़ा जमा होता. अभी जीरो बैलेंस होने से मेरा कुछ पैसा कटता नहीं उसमें. सरकार ने जो ये योजना निकाले हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छी मालूम हो रही है मेरे को.
Large number of accounts have been opened in Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana in the state. The scheme has undoubtedly made significant headway towards genuine financial inclusion of every household of the country. Nitin Gaikwad, AIR News, Aurangabad.
And now news from the FIFA World Cup.
Being billed as one of the best World Cups of recent times, the all-important quadrennial tournament enters the quarter-final stage today. France will face Uruguay at Nizhny Novgorod at 7:30 p.m, while five-time winners Brazil will take on Belgium at 11:30 p.m. in Kazan. England will battle it out against Sweden tomorrow, with hosts Russia meeting Croatia. France beating Lionel Messi's Argentina in a 7-goal classic. Uruguay sending Cristiano Ronaldo-led Portugal back home. Belgium's unbelievable comeback against Japan. And England breaking its penalty shootout jinx were some of the highlights of the round of 16. Uruguay's PSG forward Edinson Cavani is expected to miss today's quarter-final against France with the calf injury he suffered in the win over Portugal, in which he scored twice. The French will again look to rally behind teenage sensation Kylian Mbappe, who scored a brace against Argentina, but the likes of Antoine Griezmann and Paul Pogba make the team even more dangerous. The other game between Brazil and Belgium also promises to be a nail-biter, as both teams are simply lethal going forward. It'll be Neymar, Gabriel Jesus, Coutinho and Willian against Romelu Lukaku, Eden Hazard, Dries Mertens and Kevin De Bruyne. Like Uruguay, Brazil also has the meanest defense, as even they have conceded just once. However, the Belgians are the leading goal scorers up till now, and this makes the encounter even more intriguing. Sabi Hassan Khan, AIR News.
And in cricket, the second 2020 international of the 3-match series between India and England will be played at Cardiff today. The match will begin at 10 p.m. India is currently leading the series 1-0. They had won the first game at Manchester by 8 wickets. A win today will give India its 6th successive T20 series win. And 4 Indians have advanced to the men's doubles second round of the Wimbledon Tennis Championships in London. Rohan Bopanna and his French teammate Edouard Vasselin defeated the Aussie team of John Millman and Alex de Minaur. The Indo-Kiwi pair of Divish Sharan and Arjun Setak and the duo of Sriram Balaji and Vishnu Vardhan also progressed. In the singles, third seeds Garbiñe Muguruza and Marin Cilic and fourth-placed Alexander Zverev made shocking second-round exits. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Subhadra Ramachandran.
Thank you, Saira. Quite a few newspapers today lead with the story of tussle between the Delhi government and Lieutenant Governor. Hindustan Times headlines: Kejriwal to meet LG, says, must abide by Supreme Court verdict, while the DNA coach Jaitley, AAP's take on SC order wholly erroneous. The Pioneer writes, Babus refuse to fall in AAP line. UK court's ruling on Malya's assets has also got front-page coverage in several newspapers. The Hindu Business Line reports, UK court opens Malya's home for search and seizure, while Financial Express headlines, UK court rules for lenders' grants enforcement order. The Times of India says, UK court opens Malya's house door to banks. JNU rusticates Umar Khalid finds Kanhaiya, reports Times of India in its first page. The Pioneer headlines, JNU upholds Khalid's expulsion, Kanhaiya's fined for Anti-India Act, adding, Anirban ousted from campus for 5 years, while the Hindu says, Khalid's rustication upheld. Newspapers have also given prominence to a story of lynchings. The Indian Express reports 9 states, 27 killings 1 year, and a pattern to the lynchings. The Asian Age headlines, mob lynching fueled by social media must end, says government to states. Now, gambling in sports may become legal. The DNA Court's law panel legalized betting and gambling, while the Hindu writes, allow gambling in sports, but regulate it, says a law panel, adding that the revenue generated can be used for public welfare measures. And finally, when God doesn't discriminate, why do we? If you've been wondering then the Apex Court has the answer. The Supreme Court lifts a ban on entry of non-Hindus in Jagannath Puri. The Asian Age writes, Puri Temple, SC paves way for entry of non-Hindus. And with that, it's back to you, Saira.
Thank you, Subhadra, for a review of today's newspapers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Modi and his Bhutanese counterpart sharing Tokgay to hold bilateral talks today. Prime Minister Modi says contribution of Asian democracies to global discourse needs to be enhanced rapidly with the rise in their economic and political stature. In Jammu and Kashmir, terrorists abduct constable, bullet-riddled body recovered in Shopian. UK High Court gives banks option to seize Vijay Mallyas assets in London. US asks Pakistan to bring Taliban to the negotiating table with Afghan government through sustained and decisive steps. And in sports, in the FIFA World Cup quarterfinals beginning today, France to face Uruguay and Brazil to play Belgium. And in cricket, India to lock horns with England in second T20 match in Cardiff. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a great day.